Next question. This is now a 3-mark question right here. Which particle is the negative ion? Explain your answer. So you literally get 1 mark for saying A, B, or C. So even if you have no idea, just guess, literally just guess. And you have a 1 in 3 chance of getting 1 mark. Now, of course, we want to explain your answer. Now, when you explain, often students don't explain. You have to say why. So you have to say the negative ion is whatever it is. This is because, the reason is, this is because of the, or this means that. You have to give reasons why when you explain. So let's look at this. How do we figure this out? Any questions so far? Okay, let's look at this. So you have to look at the number of protons, electrons in these particles, A, B, and C. Now we know neutrons do not affect the charge at all. Okay, so if you did not know that, I have a video, okay, right here. If we go back here, it's about why atoms are neutral. Why atoms are neutral. If you did not know that, you need to go and watch these 2 videos. So neutrons do not affect the charge. You could have 1,000,000 neutrons and the charge is 0. Okay. Whereas 1 electron has a charge of -1, 1 proton has a charge of +1. So therefore, knowing that rule, chemistry is all about rules, by the way. Having 12 protons, this gives a charge of what? In the chat section, please. 12 protons has a charge of what? Not -2. You can't hear me. Other people can, so maybe you need to just fix the, not 12. Not 2 plus, 12 plus. Excellent. If you can't hear, maybe, I mean, other people can, so I'm assuming that is to do with your speakers potentially. So try and just fix that, please. So the answer is +12. 1 proton has a charge of +1. Therefore, 2 protons has a charge of +2. 3 protons has a charge of +3. 12 protons will have a charge of +12. 14 electrons, well, let's think about that. 1 electron has a charge of -1. 2 electrons have a charge of -2. 3 electrons have a charge of -3. Overall, what charge will 14 electrons have then? Exactly, -14. Do you see that? So all we need to now do is a simple simple subtraction now. +12, okay, or addition, plus -14 equals, what does that equal? -2. Do you see that? So overall, particle A is going to have a charge of -2, and we ignore the neutrons. Let's look at particle B, just to make sure, and particle C. 26 protons has a charge of what? What does 26 protons have a charge of? Exactly, +26, well done. What does 23 electrons have a charge of? -23, excellent. So therefore, if we have +26, okay, plus -23, that will equal +3, a charge of +3. Okay, not just 3, Abdullah, +3. So +26. So we can see that particle B has a positive charge. Now let's just double check C to make sure there are no mistakes. Particle C has 13 protons, which is +13, 13 electrons, which is -13. Do a simple addition, +13 plus -13 equals 0. So thank you, Nesta. That is a charge of 0. So therefore, the answer, it has to be particle A. Now, I would like everybody, based on that explanation, to please now attempt question 2. This is a 3-mark question. I'm going to give all of you a minute to a minute and a half to attempt this. You don't need to write a lot. Go. Either in the chat section or on a piece of paper. I'm going to give you a minute. You've got 30 seconds left. You don't need to write a lot for this one. 30 seconds left. 10 seconds. And stop. If I'm not giving you enough time, please let me know. I do want to make sure you have enough time. Okay, so I'm going to just look at the mark scheme first for this one, and then we're going to go through the answers. So look, particle A, you get 1 mark for that, and then you get a mark for saying more electrons than protons, or the converse of that, which means the opposite, less protons than electrons, either one. And then you're saying a charge of 2 minus or minus 2 makes no difference. So particle A, more electrons than protons, the charge is -2 or 2 minus. So we'll just pick on a few. More electrons than protons. Amira, you never said particle A, you would have got 2 out of 3. As there's more electrons, B is positively charged, and C, A, good. Okay, well done, Abdullah, you would have got 3 out of 3 there. Well done. Amy, you would have got 2 out of 3. Look at that. I actually want to focus on this one. A, tick, charge of -2, tick. But then you never said more electrons than protons. Now, I want you to think to yourself, please, 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 when you're answering questions, this is a perfect example for all of you. If you have a 3-mark question, look, this is a 3-mark question. You need to say 3 things. You need to double check your answer and be like, well, okay, that's 1 mark. -2, that's 2 things. Where is the 3rd mark? Like, think to yourself, have you said 3 things to get 3 marks? Particle A, because it's positive protons and electrons. No, Rajul, this would be 2 out of 3. It's positive protons and negative electrons add up to -2. You never explicitly stated that there are more electrons than protons. So you have to be super specific. It's not a big deal. Honestly, it's really not a big deal. You have to say what the charge is, -2. So this is the mark scheme. Like, this is a real question. I've seen it in a past paper before. It's a real question. I remember seeing this before. Now, you have to be really specific. Can I just give you some advice on who marks exam papers? It's science teachers. I'm a science teacher. I work in a school. I could sign up to being an examiner, and I can mark loads of papers, because teachers just want to get a quick buck over the summer. So they mark loads of exam papers, and they mark it really quickly. They don't know who you are. It's done anonymously. They're just going to mark it and be like, tick. No, it wasn't specific enough. Tick, 2 out of 3. So they're not going to be kind. They're just going to mark it as it is. So please do not make them give you 2 out of 3 when it's an easy question.